Hi everyone, I'm Rick Beato. In today's episode of Everything Music, we're going to talk about modal mixture. That's next on Everything Music. Okay, modal mixture, what am I talking about? It's taking a type of chord. Let's say we take a major chord. Let's say we take F major, for example. We assume it's an F major 7th chord, some type of F major 7. And we take all the corresponding scales that will work over an F major chord. Now, it could be an F major pentatonic scale. It could be an F Ionian scale. It could be an F Lydian scale, an F Lydian augmented scale, an F Lydian sharp 9 scale. And it's building lines. Now, how do you build these lines? You always want to build them from the least tension notes over the chord to the most, and then resolve. And you want to resolve in logical spots, like after 2-bar phrases, for example, or after 4-bar phrases. So it's a way of playing substitute chord changes, or as we call them in jazz, subchanges, over one chord without superimposing other chord progressions. So it's not like using the giant steps chord progressions, like say over an F major chord. Giant steps progression that John Coltrane would typically use in Giant Steps, or the tune Countdown off the Giant Steps record, is a progression that Coltrane would superimpose over a 2-5-1. We'll actually do an episode on that all in itself. So, how is this done? All right. Let's say we take the key of F major. Now, F major, simply to voice a chord, could be an F pedal tone, okay? Now, to be F major, what do you really need to have? You pretty much need to have an A in there and an E, all right? Because if it were an E flat, it'd be an F dominant chord or F7 chord, okay? So really, for this purpose, all we need are an F and an A, or F-A-E, to describe the chord, and the lines will describe the modal mixture. And I'm simply saying that I'm mixing multiple modal scales or modal lines and describing them as obviously as possible over the chord. Okay, now, what modes will work and what do they sound like? Okay, so, F major. So our first scale that will work on an F major chord is F major pentatonic, okay? Okay, that's an F major pentatonic scale, okay? Our second mode is just a straight F Ionian scale or F major scale. Okay, you just have a B flat. It's all the white notes but a B flat in there, no B natural. Next scale is an F Lydian scale, which is all the white notes. It's a 4th mode of C major. The next mode is F Lydian augmented, okay? Lydian augmented is the 3rd mode of the melodic minor scale, and it implies that it has a sharp 4 and sharp 5. Lydian augmented. Lydian means sharp 4, augmented means sharp 5, and that would be... Okay, you have sharp 4, sharp 5, 6, major 7, tonic. Okay, that's F Lydian augmented. So let's just stick with those scales for now. Let's talk about modal mixture with chord voicings, okay? So this F pentatonic scale, I can pick notes out of that scale and I can play chords. And then I go to F Ionian. Well, what is Ionian? How does that differ from pentatonic? Well, the 4th of the scale, the B flat, which many people in jazz say, oh, that's an avoid note, or the sus4. I call it the sus4. And the major 7 will describe that chord. Okay, and then you have F Lydian, okay? Then you have F Lydian augmented. Now, let's talk about building lines over these. Okay, your modal modulation can work in a sharp or flat direction. We're going to focus on the sharp direction modal modulations, okay? or upward or downward we're calling it, but the sharp direction would be upward modulation. Now, what does that mean? Okay, so if I had F major pentatonic, you're going to follow these voicings like this, then to F Ionian, which will add that B flat, then F Lydian, then F Lydian augmented. So you have that line. Okay, the downward modulation would be the opposite. Lydian augmented to Lydian to Ionian to major pentatonic. Okay, once again. Lydian augmented, Lydian, Ionian, major pentatonic. If you go from least tense scale to the most tense scale, so we're going to take 4 of them. So we're going to take F major pentatonic, F Ionian, F Lydian, and F Lydian augmented. Those 4. Okay, so we're going to have 4 notes. We're going to play eighth notes. This will be like an etude. We're going to have 4 notes of F major pentatonic. We're going to have 4 notes of F Ionian. We're going to have 4 notes of F Lydian, and we're going to have 4 notes of F Lydian augmented. Okay, what are our target notes? On F major pentatonic, we're going to target the A. That'll be our first target note. So it can be anywhere in the measure. So, okay, so I had it there. There's our target. And then the next measure, we're going to have that B flat. Here's a couple examples of modal mixture. The first one will be played as chord voicings. The second will be a linear example. Okay, so next we're going to try modal mixture over a minor type chord. Okay, in this case we'll do G minor. I'm actually going to do G minor, then I'm going to do C7, then F major, so that we can do a 2-5-1 in the key of F. The order of tension notes over the minor chord are going to be a little different. So, our target notes starting with a G minor pentatonic could be, in this example, let's say, and then the flat 6 on the Aeolian, that gives you the sound of the flat 6. And then the natural 6 on the G Dorian, and then. So here's an example of modal mixture using chord voicings over G minor. Here's an example of a linear study using modal mixture over a G minor chord. Lastly, we're going to talk about C7. We're going to do modal mixture over a dominant 7th chord. Now, to have a dominant 7th chord, a C dominant 7th, we need C, E, and B flat. That's it, because we're going to have some altered notes in there. There's a lot of different modes we can use over a C dominant chord. We can use C mixolydian. We can use C mixolydian sharp 11. We can use C dominant diminished. And we can use C alter dominant. We really could use C whole tone. But for this purpose, let's just use mixolydian, mix sharp 11, dominant diminished, and alter dominant. Here's an example of chord voicings using modal mixture over a C7 chord. Now here's an example of a linear study using modal mixture over a C7 chord. That's all for now. Please follow us here and follow me on my Everything Music Facebook page. Also, please check out the Beato Book at the link provided below. It's my 300-page book on music theory and improvisational ideas that's available through the link below. I'm Rick Beato.